The Battle of Trafalgar. How Britain secured a century of naval dominance in 1805. Off the coast of Spain, the Battle of Trafalgar reshaped European power dynamics and cemented British naval supremacy for over a century. This decisive clash between the British and Franco-Spanish fleets wasn't just a military victory. It was a turning point that dramatically altered the course of the Napoleonic Wars and beyond. The road to Trafalgar. Napoleon's ambitions and Britain's response. By the early 1800s, Napoleon Bonaparte aimed to either invade Britain or cripple its commerce. Both required overcoming the Royal Navy, which controlled the seas and protected British trade and colonies. His initial plan invading the British Isles from Boulogne failed due to the Royal Navy's blockade. Napoleon then devised a complex strategy to draw British ships away from the Channel, allowing his combined fleet with Spain to briefly seize control. This hinged on Admiral Pierre-Charles Villeneuve, who reluctantly agreed to sail from Cadiz despite Napoleon's growing impatience and threats of replacement. The invasion plan was ultimately abandoned when Napoleon shifted his focus eastward towards Austria and Russia. Horatio Nelson. The architect of victory, Vice Admiral Lord Horatio Nelson, a British naval hero, was instrumental in this victory. Rising through the ranks with a reputation for boldness and sacrifice, he lost an eye and an arm in prior battles, yet continued to command with unwavering aggression. His triumph at the Battle of the Nile in 1798 already established him as a strategic genius, cutting off Napoleon's army in Egypt. Nelson's leadership was unique. He inspired loyalty through personal bravery and unconventional tactics. He was known for ignoring orders when he believed it necessary, most famously at the Battle of Copenhagen in 1801, where he pressed on despite signals to disengage. Ships of the line. The battleships of their era. The battle featured ships of the line, massive wooden warships with multiple gun decks. These vessels, armed with dozens of cannons, were the dominant naval force of the time. Smaller ships like frigates existed, but lacked the firepower to engage in direct battles. Ships of the line were categorized by the number of guns they carried, with 74 gunships being a common balance between firepower and cost. Larger first-rate ships with 100-plus guns served as flagships. These massive vessels demanded crews of hundreds and were expensive to build and maintain. The battle unfolds. Nelson's daring tactic. On October 21, 1805, the British fleet of 27 ships faced off against the combined Franco-Spanish fleet of 33. Nelson abandoned the traditional parallel line of battle, instead dividing his fleet into two columns to break the enemy line perpendicularly. This high-risk maneuver exposed his ships to initial damage, but Nelson relied on British gunnery superiority and seamanship to prevail once the lines were broken. Before the battle, Nelson famously signaled, "England expects that every man will do his duty." The battle unfolded swiftly. Nelson's northern column, led by HMS Victory, and Vice Admiral Collingwood's southern column in HMS Royal Sovereign, crashed through the enemy line around noon. British crews fired faster and more accurately, disabling or capturing ship after ship. Nelson's sacrifice and the aftermath. Tragically, Nelson was struck by a musket ball and died during the battle, uttering, "Thank God I have done my duty." Despite his death, the British captured or destroyed 22 enemy ships without losing a single vessel. Villeneuve was captured but later committed suicide. The consequences were profound. France could no longer threaten an invasion of Britain. British naval dominance lasted for over a century, enabling trade, colonial expansion, and the enforcement of blockades against France. Nelson's tactical innovations influenced naval doctrine for generations. A legacy forged in fire. The Battle of Trafalgar wasn't just a military win, it reshaped global power. By securing British naval supremacy, it forced Napoleon to shift his strategy, ultimately leading to his downfall. For France, it meant the end of any serious challenge to Britain's control of the seas. Spain, unable to rebuild its fleet, lost its ability to protect its American colonies, paving the way for Latin American independence. Trafalgar remains a cornerstone of British national identity, a reminder of the day Britain cemented its place as a global superpower.